Explain what's just happened in Utah.
Well, yesterday we had the Supreme Court put a stay on Judge Robert Shelby's decision to allow same-sex marriage in our state. So we have about 1,300 couples that are in what our Attorney General called legal limbo. And then we have an untold number of gay couples in the state that cannot get married for the foreseeable future.
Now, Moody, you and Derek are not married. There was that opening where 1,000 people did get married. Why did you decide not to at that time? And how does that allow you to be a plaintiff in this lawsuit?
Well, when we first heard of the ruling, we were in our kitchen working, and so we were in no position to drop everything and rush down. We did have about 3 or 4 other days to go down and get a license, but we were not so much interested in that as in the fact that we had the opportunity to get married whenever we pleased. We wanted to do it more traditionally, if we can say, with a ceremony and our family and friends, and then the Supreme Court granted Utah its stay, but I don't think that we will go on like this for a long time.
Explain the mood in Utah right now, and the gay, lesbian, the LGBT community, Derek.
You know, we're in the process of building I don't know, kind of a compassionate coalition of workers here that are trying to get a huge public outreach campaign going to kind of educate those members of our society that may be on the fence or not so sure what it means to have gay marriage in Utah. There was a sense of jubilation for the 17 days that marriages were allowed in our state. As of yesterday, there was a somewhat sense of defeat. But I do believe that in the end, this is going to just add momentum to our cause and really kind of just, you know, light the fire beneath everybody. So it's going to be good.
You have a Middle Eastern foods business, and you were giving out baba ganoush to folks who are getting married?
We were actually handing out hummus.
Thank you for correcting the record.
Yeah, it's okay. We do have a Middle Eastern food business in Salt Lake where we package and sell Middle Eastern food through grocery stores.
But yeah, when people were waiting out in line on December 23rd, the Monday after the ruling, we went out and handed food to people waiting in line. And, you know, that day there were people waiting blocks around. I think they married, you know, over 400 people just in Salt Lake County alone on that day. So, you know, this kind of underscores the mood among our community around the Christmas time. So it's been fun.
On Saturday, a group called the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association held what they called an uprising against same-sex marriage in their state. Speaker Richard Mack, a former sheriff from Graham County, Arizona, called on law enforcement officials to prevent gay marriages in Utah.
The people of Utah have rights too, not just the homosexuals. The homosexuals are shoving their agenda down our throats. The way you take back freedom in America is one county at a time. And the sheriffs need to defend the county clerks in saying, no, we're not going to issue marriage licenses to homosexuals.
I wanted to get your response, Derek, to this.
I think there's something to be said about freedom here, and this is, we have to consider our freedom as well. We desire to be married. This is a civil marriage issue, so this has nothing to do with religions. We're not lining up at the Mormon church to get married. So I do believe that in the end, as far as liberty goes, we are on the winning side. And, you know, it's unfortunate that they are upset about this, but, you know, they can't really take away rights from us that we deserve.
Moody, I wanted to ask about the theory that is being used to challenge same-sex marriage in Utah. The idea that banning same-sex marriage encourages diversity in parenting, you know, having a man and a woman be the parents.
Right. You know, there have been a lot of studies debunking that theory. I am of the belief that a child needs parents who can love and nurture them. I'm not in a position to change anybody's mind about what they believe. All that we ask is that they leave us to our own beliefs and our own family. There are hundreds of family types out there, and we cannot all go out there and make sure that they conform to our standards.
Do you plan to how do you want to get married in Utah?
Well, I think we were planning on a farmer's market wedding because we spend most of our time with the farmer's market, and we were planning something for this coming October. But with the Supreme Court stay, that may not happen, although I do believe that our appeals process will be speedy.
Well, of course. And you, Derek?
I was just going to say, to add on to Moody's point, I do believe that we will be through the 10th Circuit in March, and depending on what they decide, that could be escalated up to the Supreme Court. And we are hoping for a ruling that could affect other states. So, you know, we're in it for the long run, and if that means putting our marriage on hold, then that's what that means.
And that stay appeal would be made to Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who's assigned to oversight of the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals. Is that right? Any words
Correct.
that you'd like to, if you could address her now, what would you have to say, Derek and Moody?
You know, we're just here to respect the process. I understand that they didn't really offer an opinion on the case, and that's totally respectable. I think we will wait to make our case to the Supreme Court in full later on in the future.
I don't think it'll change day-to-day life for us, obviously, but it is nice to know that there's some formal recognition for the relationship that we've created over the last 18 years. So it's just a nice way to sort of commemorate the relationship that we share.
And just to have this opportunity in Utah, in our home state, because we could have gone to California, we could have gone to another state, but we're Utahns, and that is huge. That's huge. We're pioneers.